A new movie shot entirely in Wisconsin is coming to the Oriental Theatre this weekend as part of the Milwaukee Film Festival. It's called Winter Hymns, and here's a quick preview for you.
I'm not even really sure what this is.
No, that's a pretty common question. A lot of people are unclear about what we do here.
That's my life we're talking about. It's not just some lab test that you take and send to somebody in Hawaii to look at. I just want to know.
And joining us now is the film's writer and director, Nathan Deming. It's great to be here with you, Nathan. I mean, this film has seen a huge success already. What's the reaction been like from your point of view? I know as a creator, you go into it hoping a film like this could be received that way. But is it anything like you ever imagined?
Well, it's interesting. So the film's called Winter Hymns. It's one room, one day in the life of a palliative care doctor. So every person she's meeting with is dying, which doesn't really sound like the recipe for success.
Yeah.
But no, I've been blown away by the response since we premiered at the Wisconsin Film Festival. It's a difficult subject, but I think because it's one we don't really talk about very much, people have been really responding to it.
I was going to say, you know, it is a difficult subject, but I do think that we need films like this for people, if they're navigating something like this, maybe in their own life, they can see it on film, and I think that does make a huge difference. What inspired the film? Where did the creative process come from?
Well, my dad was a palliative care doctor for the last 9 years of his career up in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and when he first was talking about his work, I thought, this is really grim and overwhelming, and I don't want to hear about this. But then what I found out is what a lot of palliative care and hospice workers say, which this work is incredibly meaningful, and there's actually a lot of beauty that goes along with it. I'm sure there's people watching right now that are going through this themselves or with loved ones, and this film has been a really interesting, like, it's almost a hidden message I didn't even know was there when we were making it, which is you're not alone. Like, everybody goes through this.
That's what I was thinking when I was watching the trailer, was you don't realize how isolating it could feel, not only for people going through it, but at the same time, even the healthcare professionals who are having to navigate this. What did you learn while you were directing this film?
What did I learn? I learned a lot. One being that kind of message, but also how much freaking acting talent there is in this state. Everybody in the cast is from Wisconsin, except for the exception of one person. Our lead is Colleen Madden, who is from American Players Theatre in Spring Green, who just won a Tony Award. There's so many talented people in the state. Some people who weren't even actors. There's a 92-year-old who makes her acting debut in this movie.
Incredible.
As well as a young dairy farmer who, again, never acted before. He milked cows before he came to set, and then he gave like a 4-minute monologue. It was awesome.
Did you set out to kind of highlight the local talent here in Wisconsin and film it all here in the state? Was that the original goal of the project?
Yeah, that was really important to me. I mean, you could set this movie anywhere, but I'm from here. I'm from Tomah, Wisconsin, and I just, one thing I want to do with many of my films is try to show a side of the state that I know that I think people outside the state don't know. When a lot of movies get made about Wisconsin, they're kind of like the outside looking in, you know, and they're like our stereotypes about beer, cheese, the Packers. Those are good things, but, you know, we're also normal people here. And, like, I'm really happy that a lot of people who've seen the film have said they really recognize themselves on screen.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, when you think about it, this film had huge success at the Wisconsin Film Festival. Now coming here to Milwaukee, is the goal when you're releasing a film to kind of keep that momentum going? Is that crucial to the film's overall success?
Oh, totally, yeah. I mean, again, because of the grim subject, we didn't really know how people were going to respond to it, and it was amazing that, like, in Madison, it actually ended up playing for a few weeks. We played around the state, and we're actually expanding outwards. So if people, we have a website, winterhymnsfilm.com/showtimes. If people go to it, they can see all the showtimes we're adding. We're announcing some big ones next month as well. So.
And I know you can't really talk about it specifically right now, but the goal eventually could be this thing could really start expanding.
That is our hope. We've already, we've been getting some interesting requests so far. So stay tuned. Hopefully or it's going to rain this weekend. Why not come to the Oriental Theatre, see what all the fuss is about?
Absolutely. So, Nathan, it was so great to have you on the show. Thanks so much. Congratulations on all of your success. Winter Hymns is at the Oriental Theatre this Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock. We've got all the information for you on the 12 News app under the 12 News links.